Here we are in beautiful Tiphareth, in the middle of the Tree of Life. It's ruled by the sun, and it's associated with the color gold, sometimes yellow. It's right in the middle of the Tree of Life, which is a wonderful place to be. In some ways, that's the goal of the whole Tree of Life, is to be balanced in the middle. You have the pillar of force on one side, pillar of form on the other, and the energy moves back and forth in a zigzag. It's divine lightning, and it's trying to balance in the middle. And that's what's happening in Tiphareth. You've got this beautiful balance between the pillars on the right and the left, and you also have a balance between above and below. This is where above and below meet. It's where divine meets mundane, and it's where the mundane, that's us, we meet divine. So when you have that moment when you're aware of being more than just a body walking around down here, that you have a spiritual side, and that spirit really is there, well, then you are experiencing Tiphareth. And all the sixes, because this is Sephira 6, all the sixes, all the minor sixes reside there. And these are all wonderful cards of success and joy and happiness. Six of Wands, victory. The Six of Cups is pleasure, and that is physical pleasure as well as spiritual pleasure, and the kind of, visceral physical pleasure that you can get from a spiritual connection. I always think of the Bernini sculpture of Saint Teresa. That kind of ecstasy is what this card is all about. The Six of Swords, this is about, it is like in the Rider-Waite-Smith, it is about sailing away from trouble, sailing away from problems, but it's also about bringing things together. If you look at it, this card is definitely associated with science and the mind. It's Mercury in Aquarius, so it's about thinking, and it's about things coming together. Mercury is very happy in Aquarius. And then we have the Six of Discs, which is the moon in Taurus. So again, the moon and Taurus work very well together. It's a very happy, content card, happy in your home, happy in yourself, happy in financial matters. This card does relate to financial matters. So this is a wonderful place. Everything is in balance there. And the major arcana that we can associate with Tiphareth is the Lovers, number 6. Now, the interesting thing about the Lovers is that for most people, the first meaning that we associate with the Lovers is coming together, a marriage, a sacred marriage, the alchemical wedding. And those things are all true. They definitely relate to this card. But if you look at the bottom of the card, you can see in the bottom box, you have the sign of Gemini for the twins, and you have the Hebrew letter Zion. Now, the Hebrew letter Zion means sword. It's associated with a sword. And so part of the energy of this card, excuse me, is separation, cutting things apart, things being split apart. And that is part of the alchemical marriage as well, is things being split apart and divided so that they can be strengthened, and what you don't need anymore can be gotten rid of, and then everything comes back together and it's better and it's stronger. And this is what's happening in Tiphareth. In Tiphareth, we separate from the awareness of pure spirit. We separate from our spiritual selves in order to become human. We are embodied as humans, as spirit within a human body, a human casing. And so there is that division. And Crowley says something, I forget where it is, but he says something about separation for the pleasure of reunion. And it's that kind of thing. If you think about separating yourself from spirit, and we're going to have our experiences down here, and then we're going to be reunited because everything is a cycle. So it's hard, separation in Tiphareth. This is kind of the downside of Tiphareth. Because all of the Sephireth, they bring everything with them as they're coming down the Tree of Life. So in Tiphareth, you have the Sephireth 1 through 5 within the 6, and you're also looking a little bit ahead to the 7, and the 7 is Netzach, and 7s are also beautiful. We'll talk about that in another video. 7s are also beautiful, but they can be a very hard place to be, and that is what happens after the separation in Tiphareth. So I hope that was interesting. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.